Los Ratones YamatoCannon. It is official. I am the head coach of Los Ratones coming into, of course, 2026, the winter split. It's an immense honor. I've been following the journey of course, Los Ratones. I've been watching them and I've been a massive fan of what they've done. I think it's a massive feat of strength what they've achieved this year in regards to how difficult it is to manage streaming at the same time, being entertainment at the same time, and also competing and actually like winning the competition while, of course, having all of your information out in the public. The pressure you're under, the like managing all of these things at the same time, that requires a very, very unique skill set. And I'm super intrigued to see how they will thrive under the environment of course, LEC practice, the LEC schedule, and then just working in an office and seeing each other. Because like even working online is something that creates barriers, but they manage to navigate that so well. And now it's kind of a situation where obviously the LEC challenge is greater and more difficult. But I also think that from a point of view of how much more they can give and how much higher their potential will be and can be is of course also higher, because now like those weights are kind of off. It's kind of how I described it in a recent interview that I did with Don Jake today. I said, it's kind of like they swam in shallow waters, but they had like weights kind of pulling them down. Now it's like without those weights, and they are swimming out into more dangerous waters. But now like those training weights are kind of off, and they can really just commit themselves to the performance. And I think that's the cool part of this. It's like the main essence of my motivation always when it comes to coaching is like, I know already from speaking to the guys how much this with the split means to them, how much it means to Kedro, and that fuels me. Like I come into the team obviously as a new guy coming into the dynamic, and I have the full intention to honor the dynamic that they've built, and to just support them, and of course facilitate them in the best way possible. Because my philosophy around coaching is of course that you need to cater it to the individual, you need to cater it to the dynamic, and of course I'm going to look to push them and to challenge them. And I'm going to make sure that, the strengths of what they've built is something that we highlight as much as possible, so they can just show, the best version of themselves. And that's going to be my goal and my ambition. It's like in terms of how everything came to be, Kedro just reached out to me during the World Championship. He just said, yo, we need somebody that already has a connection with the players, has met them, interacts with them well. I've hung out with them plenty. I've watched all of the games that they played, a lot of scrims as well. I have, a history in the LEC coaching, and of course I'm available. So when he reached out to me, I was like, oh damn. It's like, yeah, I'm interested, but obviously it's like I need to know how you guys want to approach this. That's really important to me, because I'm telling you right away, Kedro, it's like if I'm doing this, I don't want to stream. I don't want to do like for me personally, like I want to focus on the team 100%. Obviously, I know that the players are going to stream and so forth. I'm talking about myself. It's like when I join a team, for me, that's like an 18-hour a day job. Like I want to pour myself into it, and I want to know that I have the guys on the same page, like that they want to come into this win split and just do their absolute best and try to, of course, win. And he told me right away, yeah, like this is our approach. Like we want to go into this winter split and just give it 110%, give it our all. And I was like, all right, Kedro, I'm in. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. I know for some, I understand completely. A lot of people wanted, of course, Kedro to be the head coach and Odoamne to continue, which I understand. Like they have been part of the journey the entire year, and getting the reward here of the LEC is like the ending that you kind of want to hope for. And Kedro is already a person that is working like so many jobs at the same time, and I know that he's going to be so damn involved with the team in practice. I think that's just who he is in nature, that he's going to do all of his obligations, like the coach streams, and he's going to come and he's going to, of course, support the team in any way possible. So I look forward to that. Obviously, working with Kedro is something that I'm super excited about. We're also bringing in Shaves, who, is probably my favorite person that I've worked with in esports. He was my like, I don't want to say assistant coach, because he was my right hand man. in Fnatic. I also brought him with me to KC, which obviously like didn't end so well for me, but like Shaves is a person that I've really always enjoyed working with, and any chance to reconnect with him is something that I'm going to take, because I do think that we complement each other's strengths super well. And Shaves, in regards to the players, Shaves worked with, of course, Nemesis and Reckless in the past. So, he was always telling me how Nemesis is as a player, and he was always telling me, it's like, you would love to work with Nemesis. Like you would fit so well with Nemesis. You would love to work with him. And it's like after a 2-hour call with Nemesis, he's like, I confirmed all of the things that Shaves was telling me right away, and Shaves was very right. This group I'm super excited to be working with. Reckless, another one is like, it's like another one that just got away, because it's like when 2020 we were talking so much in that off season, and we were excited to work together. I believe like a big part of why I joined Fnatic and even was considered for Fnatic was I believe Reckless that made a push for me. And the first message we exchanged is like, finally we get to do what we were supposed to do in 2021, which is super cool. The esports world is very small, so me working with Reckless now is also super exciting. It's like I played in a team with him back in like season 2, so it's like we have history that goes back, and there were many events where we like chatted a lot with each other about what went down in the matches, like 2018 Worlds and other finals and so forth. So with the whole squad, I already like have had a lot of run-ins with them, and I think that part is important, because just because it's a short-term project, knowing like if the vibe will match is of course super important. You don't have a lot of time to like establish those things, so it's like you need to hit the ground running from the get-go, and I am plugging into a dynamic that is already like established, and a lot of things that they have done, a lot of the strengths, and the weaknesses also like already like on the table. So I am coming in to of course help facilitate that and to push them in the new LEC environment. And I believe that coaching is something that needs to be catered to the individuals and catered to the group that you're dealing with at hand, the dynamic. And the coaching approach will always change depending on that. And I already have like a very strong idea of how I want to approach things. But Los Ratones will remain Los Ratones, and I want to honor the legacy that they've built. And I hope that we can showcase all the flair and all the beauty of what they've done in EMEA Masters and bring that, of course, to the LEC stage, but just at a higher level, and over time we get better and better. And that, of course, is my ambition. For the time being, it's like I always, especially after the KC stint, it's like my coaching career and my career has been so long, and when I have actively competed, I turn into just like, when the competitor version of me is just so focused on competition, so it takes a toll on everything else in my life. And I reached a point where like I sacrifice and my family sacrifice a little bit too much for me to have it be sustainable, where I coach in the LEC and the LCS or whatever. And that's why I have been doing the stream thing from, of course, home. But this is just a perfect project, because I can do what I love the most, and it's over a shorter time period. So that is just like the perfect combination, because I imagine that, like as a fit, it just makes sense, especially, from my position and based on what Kato told me. Hopefully it also makes sense. And I have a, deep appreciation for the trust that Kato has in me, and I will do everything I can to repay that tenfold. All I care about is, how much this means to the guys, and try to contribute as much as possible to make sure that they find success in the winter split, so that can carry over into all the other things that they want to achieve in, of course, the future. So for the time being, the co-streams are going to slow down. They will start again in the future after, of course, the winter split and first stand is over, because, after first stand, the co-streams will begin again. And then everything will resume as per usual. But until then, you will see a lot less of me, because I'm just going to be working. We'll go to the Red Bull event, which is going to be amazing, and we get to compete there. And then probably we have a boot camp, and then we have, of course, the time in the office. Maybe I'm going to release, some vlog updates on the YouTube channel. But I intend to just make this my life for the next 3-4 months. There's no other way to do it. So with that being said, I've been yapping now for 10 minutes. I once again, a deep appreciation for the trust Kedru and the players have given me in through this opportunity. And for the naysayers, I will do my absolute best to prove you wrong. And I know that I'm coming into Los Ratones, and I want to honor everything that Los Ratones, of course, represents. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one, and peace. I am now a rat. All the best.